Hello SI team. This video is going to show you how to properly fill out a digital time card. Go ahead and log into your Blackboard. Click on the SI program class. Here to the left, you'll see the drop down of the team that you are assigned to. Click on group discussion board and the time card for that week will appear there. For this example, we're going to show the August 5th through 11th. Here you'll see the directions on exactly how to follow the steps on filling out your time card. Go ahead and open this document by clicking on the link. You'll first notice here in red that it states that the time card needs to be opened and edited in Adobe Reader. Editing on the web will not function properly. So it's important that you have Adobe Reader already downloaded on your computer, so when you click on this link, you're able to open the document in Adobe Reader. It's also important for you to note that the file name format is important. You must follow this format. Our team will have you rename your document if you do not follow this file name. So it goes by last name, first name, month, day, year, dash month, day, year. Go ahead and click on the link. It'll open it a new tab. This is what the document looks like on the web. This is where you do not want to open it. Again, do not start editing the document here on the web. You'll want to download it. Some computers will prompt you to automatically save the document. This is where you'll want to change the file name and follow that format. So it will be last name, first name, and then the date range. You can follow it right here. It states it right on the time card. So for this one, it will be 8.5.19-8.11.19. Again, following the format stated in the directions. You go ahead and hit save. Your document will show up down here, the downloaded one, and then you'll go ahead and show in the folder. The reason why you want to show in the folder is because you want to open it in Adobe. If you open it, it's just going to open it again on the web, and that's where you don't want to edit it. So you go ahead and open it up and make sure that it opens in Adobe Reader. So this is what the document looks like in Adobe, and this is where you can begin editing your document. We're going to go ahead and look at the scenario here for Jane's SI week. So right here it explains the days and the times Jane went to class, she held her sessions, went to her leader meeting, held an office hour, and her session planning. We're going to go ahead and just follow what's in this scenario and fill out the time card here, starting by the name. So it'll be first name, last name, the employee ID, which should have been assigned to you, employee record. It will be 0 if you do not have any other job on campus. It will be another number if you do have another job on campus, and that's information you should receive from your supervisor. So we'll go ahead and just follow the scenario. She went to class from Monday and Wednesday from 2:30 to 3:45. So I'll go ahead and enter that in. If you notice right underneath the time in and time out, it does state that there is a format that you follow for the time, which is the hour and the minute, and then the AM and PM. Then I'm going to go ahead and insert the time reporting code. Every shift that you are claiming hours for must have a time reporting code. If you do not know what the abbreviations are, you scroll down at the bottom of the time card and the time reporting codes are listed here, and you'll be able to know what abbreviation is for what. Then she had a session on Monday at 4 p.m. Again, not forgetting that session code. She had a session at 11 a.m. on Tuesday. It's actually had a session on Wednesday at 1 p.m., but it did not make. So the leader meeting at 10 a.m. on Tuesday. And their office hour was on Wednesday at 4. Session planning was scattered throughout the week, but any session planning does get claimed on Saturdays, depending on how long it took you, with a max of 2 hours. Okay, so it looks like we have everything that's on the scenario filled out, but if you notice, there's a couple mistakes on here. Let's go ahead and start with Monday's mistakes. So one, she went to class from 2:30 to 3:45. If you are attending a class that is the hour and 15 minutes, you should round it up to the next half hour. So this one's going to be an hour and you can go ahead and round that up to the next 15 minutes. So that's actually should be 4 p.m. If you are confused as to why I am doing this, you'll go ahead and speak to your supervisor to receive a little bit more clarity. And go ahead and make that same correction on Wednesday's date. Now, if you notice here on Monday, this shift here is ending at 4 p.m., but the next one is starting at 4 p.m. These two cannot overlap like this on the same date. It has to go straight through. So this time here actually has to be 2:30 to 5 o'clock. So this shift down here should not even be shown. You should just change that to a 5. Go ahead and remove that code and add it to that same line there, and that was the session that Jane had. Same thing over here. So this time here, 10 a.m. is actually before 11 a.m. and the 10 a.m. should be listed first. You should never have a time earlier in the day in the second, third, or even fourth lines. You should always start from the earliest into the later times. But again, there's an overlapping time here, so this should actually start at 10 and go all the way to 12 because that was the time that she worked, and it should be within one shift and not overlapped that way. And then you'll remove the code from the second line and go ahead and just include the code. So we want to know what happened between 10 to 12 p.m. 1 hour was dedicated to a session, and then another hour towards the leader meeting that she attended during this time. Here we are there's a lot going on here. The 1 p.m. should obviously be first, the 2:30 following, and then you'll see here that there's an ending shift at 4 and a starting shift at 4. That should not be there. It should go 2:30 straight to 5. So go ahead and make the corrections here. This should be, the 1 p.m. should come first. So go ahead and making that correction there. This was for the class time and for the office hour. I'll go ahead and remove this. And then this is going to be the 1 p.m., which was the session that did not make. And you just want to make sure your codes are updated. So here is a lot more cleaner. It's a lot more condensed. our timekeeper will be able to input these times correctly, because the system will not accept the time card that showed those overlaps and those times before and everything. So you'll see here the total hours, and that should match up the total hours that you worked as well. Now, just because you attended class from here from 2:30 to 4 o'clock doesn't mean that you shouldn't include that same code on Wednesday. You need to include codes for every single time that you claim your hours, and everything should be accounted for. So one other thing that I did not mention was, here in the scenario we have that Jane canceled her Thursday session due to an exam for class. Now this is a reasonable and acceptable reason to cancel a session due to an exam happening that day for the SI class. Notice that the session didn't happen. It wasn't a session did not make, so that's not something you would put here within the hours, but it is something that you need to put in the comments so that your supervisor is aware that the Thursday session that that Jane was supposed to have was canceled due to an exam. There we go. So then here comes the part of going ahead and signing your time card. So you're going to go ahead and look it over one more time, make sure that everything's correct, you don't have any overlaps, any common mistakes. You go ahead and check that the dates are correct for the week that you are currently in, and then you go ahead and want to hit the signature. So you click on the signature, and this pop-up window will pop up for you to create a digital signature. So you configure a digital ID. You go ahead and click, it should already automatically click this create a new digital ID, and you'll go ahead and hit continue. You'll save to the Windows Certificate Store. And then the only two things that you need to provide are the two boxes that are in red. So you go ahead and provide your name, and then your work email address. So again, this is the work email address that was assigned to you, and that's what you're going to use in order to create your digital ID. You go ahead and click save. Then it's going to have me sign with the digital ID, and I'm going to ensure that this is my digital ID, which is Jane Smith. You click on continue. You'll click on sign. Now it's going to prompt you to save the document again. You go ahead and just hit save, and you just want to override the file that already exists with replacing the existing file. So you see here, this file already exists with the name that I want to save it with. I'm just going to hit yes to override it, because it's going to have all this information and the digital signature. You go ahead and click this drop down to just include the date again, and then you'll go ahead and you'll hit save to ensure that everything is being saved. And that is how you properly fill out a digital time card. You can follow the steps on a different video on how to submit your time card on Blackboard. Again, these are the time reporting codes for anything that you need to report on your time card. It needs a reporting code. Thank you for watching.